Hi, I'm Shoestring Jane and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal, money saving and more sustainable. I'm looking at sustainable things. So I thought today, because I did a video last week and I got a lot of views on it, which was good. I got one or two people misunderstanding what I was saying. My message was trying to be buy less stuff, not buy no stuff, and buy better. And I think that is a good message, isn't it, at the moment? Because we have so much stuff. It costs us a lot of money, and I won't say any more about that. Go and watch that video if you want to know what I was talking about. But anyway, today, so I thought I would just show you some of the things that I think have been good buys. Because as I say, I'm not saying buy no stuff. I'm saying make your money count. And what I try to do increasingly is be more ethical in my purchases, because, you know, I've done my fair share of buying cheap stuff in the past. I've learned through bitter experience that cheap stuff doesn't last. I mean, they say buy cheap, buy twice. I think you could buy cheap, buy 50 times, because they make things so badly. So I'm looking to just buy better, really. And I'm always looking to buy things that are going to save me money as well. Sometimes, anyway. Sometimes I know I could buy cheaper, but I'm trying to buy things that are a bit more sustainable, really, because I think we have to. And I personally am at the point now where I would rather buy a lot less and pay a little bit more for what I buy. So anyway, what I thought I would do, I've done this on my blog, so I thought I'd share it on here as well, was share 8 of the products that are my favourite sustainable products that I've bought. And some of them have saved me money, as I say, over time. And I know that we cannot buy our way out of a climate crisis. We can't. We don't want to buy more and more stuff. So, don't fall into the trap of thinking, well, I want a stainless steel lunchbox, so I'm going to chuck out all of my plastic lunchboxes. Use what you've got, but in future, think, well, actually, perhaps in the future, if I need another lunchbox, I will buy something that's not made of plastic. I mean, in that case, it's not single-use plastic, so as far as I'm concerned, it's not as bad. But you could also not buy a lunchbox at all and use an old ice cream container. There's plenty of them about. You only have to look through people's recycling if you don't buy them yourself. So anyway, without further ado, let me show you my favourite sustainable products. I'm going to start with the largest, which is here. I'm going to put it away because the cats, if I leave this out, the cats like to sleep on it. And that's not very hygienic because it's actually a slow cooker. It's called the Wonder Bag. If you don't know about the Wonder Bag, I will try and link my video where I reviewed it. I was very kindly gifted this by Wonder Bag, and I've mentioned it a lot because I think it's absolutely brilliant. I use it most now to make yogurt. And what it is say it's a slow cooker, so it's very, very insulated. And the idea is not for yogurt, but for, say you were using it to make a casserole. So you bring it to the boil, make sure it's really heated through, and it's coming to the boil. And then you just put your pot with the pot's lid and everything else into here. I'll show you what happens. So it kind of undoes here, and you've got a little lid that comes off, and then you've got quite a cavernous, you get different sizes. I think this was I don't know if this was a large one or a medium. I've got a tea towel just at the bottom, just in case there's any sort of spills when I do my cooking in it. And you put it in there, and then you make it really tight again. And then you can kind of move it around, so I always move it out the way of the cats. So I think they would love that. But it's really, really good. It works brilliantly with no energy. So therefore, it's a really thrifty way of cooking and a very sustainable way of cooking. So you can actually make these yourself. So if you were clever and you could convert maybe an old duvet or a sleeping bag, it's the same principle as the old hay boxes that you used in World War II, which were literally boxes full of hay, and it saved a lot of energy. So it's that principle. You don't even have to buy one, although Wonder Bag is really great because they employ a lot of women in Africa, and they're very kind of socially conscious overall. So it cost me, well, it didn't cost me anything because it was gifted, but at the time it would have been about £60, and I think that's still about the price. So I looked when I did my blog post last week to see what a kind of large slow cooker would be. So, you could fit a really big pot in here if you were feeding maybe a large family or a crowd, and a large slow cooker would be a similar price, about £60 mark. So it's not actually hideously more expensive and uses zero electricity. Slow cookers are really good as well, but do use a little bit of electricity, and they're another gadget. And I have a slow cooker. I've had a few slow cookers in my time, but I was gifted a slow cooker again for review, and it was quite a small one at the time. I thought, this is good. So I gave my big one to Izzy, and I thought, well, a slow cooker just for me and Justin now a lot of the time, it would be really good. So I did use it, but it's just stopped working. So I keep saying this, all these flipping gadgets just keep stopping working. This is not going to stop working. So this is what I'm going to be using for slow cooking in the first place. I've also cooked just things like rice in here and potatoes, and you give it a little bit longer than you would normally, but not very long. And as I say, I do yogurt in here, which is brilliant because I just heat the milk, put my starter in, put it in a container, put it on top of the starter, stick it in there for maybe 6 hours, and then I have absolutely perfect yogurt at the end of it. So that's my first favourite frugal and sustainable product. Let's do the next nearest. I've got a bit of a tickle today. I think it's because spring is in the air, which is good, but there's a few things flowering, trees. And I think tree pollen does make my nose run, and it makes me have a cough. So my next one is this book by Nancy Birtwistle, and some of you will know her as an old winner of Bake Off. She's really good. She's got loads of books. I haven't got the others. I've looked and borrowed the others, but I'm going to ask for some for my birthday. She's got lots, and she's got a new one coming out as well, I think. This one's really, really good for cleaning products. And I've mentioned this book before, and the fact that I now use Nancy's recipes for Toilet Magic, which cleans obviously the toilet, but any surfaces where you might get those kind of hard water stains. So it's really, really good, Toilet Magic, for that. And also I use it on tiles, or the bath and the toilet. And I use it for the kitchen sink, and I even used it for the cooker top actually, and it worked really well on that. And I also do the all-purpose cleaner from here as well. And literally you can clean glass surfaces, anything with that. I even cleaned the carpets with it the other day, although it wasn't absolutely 100%, but it wasn't bad. So yeah, clean and green. And then laundry liquid is my next one, but I've got a massive box of powder, and I keep thinking when that powder's gone, I'm going to make the laundry liquid that she does, but I'll wait till it's gone. I don't need to spend any more money right now on ingredients that I'm not actually using. But I do recommend this book. It's really good, and I do recommend those products. I think they're really, really effective and fewer chemicals, and you can reuse containers as well, so that's all good. So on my next product, and actually I didn't include this one in my blog post, but I thought I may as well. This is a Zao, I don't know how you pronounce it, I assume you pronounce it Zao. It's a brand that tries to be more sustainable, and I don't wear a lot of makeup, but you know, lots of it comes in plastic. So this has got a kind of bamboo container, and it's got the powder in it. You can see I've used quite a lot, and it's, I don't get it out now. I can't get it out now. But it comes out and you can buy the refills. So this is my second refill. Izzy bought me this as a birthday present when I asked her to originally, and I then bought the refill. So it's quite expensive to start with, 20 odd quid, 22 I think. But then I say it's quite expensive. It's not actually, if you look at makeup prices, it's quite good quality, I think, and it's all nice natural ingredients. So, and it's only about £10.95 when you buy the refill, so not quite so bad. And I use very little makeup, so I basically use a little bit of foundation, face powder, a bit of rouge, and I use those things because I'm naturally so pale and big shadows under my eyes and everything, so I have to use something, or I feel I do. This one is their refillable mascara, so I've got some on today, but I very rarely use it. So this has lasted me a long time, so I don't use it very much, because what I tend to do with mascara is rub my eyes and it ends up down my face, and I've got panda eyes. But you know, if I'm going out, if I just want to look a bit more awake, sometimes I will use this. And again, this is my second refill. Can't remember the price on that, but it's probably comparable to, you know, a good brand mascara. And again, it's got fewer chemicals in it. So I recommend that Zao. You'll tell me in the comments if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I recommend their makeup range. I think it's very, very good. And I like it. It doesn't irritate me either, is the other thing. This one is my second one of these as well. It's called Wide Eye, and it's cleansing milk. So I take the makeup off at the end of the day with this, and just water on a cloth, a face cloth. And I like this brand. They're actually based in Brighton. They've got, I think, 3 branches in the south of England, but they also sell online. Their packaging is sustainable. This is glass with a metal top. And although they do have a little bit of plastic on the label, I notice, but so they're not absolutely 100%, but who is? And the makeup remover itself lasts for ages. I mean, I've just got this new one through, I haven't opened this one yet, but my previous one, I've still got a little bit in the bottom and it's lasted 6 months already. And maybe that's me because I only use it once a day. I don't use it in the morning. I just use water on a cloth in the morning because I don't get that dirty overnight. So yeah, I've lasted ages and ages and ages, and it doesn't irritate. It's full of really nice ingredients again. So I can't remember how much that was. I'll try and put the prices. Actually, what I'll do is put a link to the blog post because it's got all the prices on it. But it was, not too horrific. About £10, I think. So, and it lasts a long, long, long time. And this one is SESI. I don't know if you call it that or if you call it Ceci. It's a hand and body lotion. It's in a container that had something else in it once. It's quite a runny sort of hand and body lotion. And I got it from the local refill shop, and it's not local enough for me to go in there all the time, but I'm trying to organise myself now because if I'm passing, if I need anything, like they do shampoo and conditioner, which I can get here in my local post office, but they do things like washing up liquid, laundry liquid, those kind of things, whatever you want really. They do so many different products. So if you haven't got a refill shop locally, have a chat with your local shop to see if they would consider doing it. That's what happened here. It's just the post office and general stores, and somebody went in and said, how about stocking some of these? And they do, and although they've only got a very limited range, they don't do this. That's the way you get change, isn't it? If they think they've got a customer base for it, they'll do it. But this is actually from the refill shop, and that pot was really full to the top and cost me £7, which I think is good in comparison. And again, it's lasted ages. It's lasted about 3 months so far. God, I've only used about half the pot. And what I found before is I was trying to find a sustainable hand and body lotion, and I ordered one from Peace with the Wild, which I do really rate as a shop, but all of the ones that they were doing, they were selling their own and others, came in pots smaller than this, tiny, tiny little pots for about £15. And I'd used them in a week, and I thought, well, that's just crazy because I've got quite dry skin. If I have a shower or bath, I always use hand and body lotion afterwards. Otherwise, I just flake. So I really need to. So I need a good hand and body lotion, but I don't need to spend £15 on a tiny pot. So that is a really good alternative. I think I was really delighted when I found that in the refill shop. So I have to remember, she actually gave me this container. They get containers donated, and I wasn't expecting to go, so I wasn't prepared. But now I'm starting to keep little containers in my car, so if I'm passing, I've got something. I thought that was good. But any refill shops will do that brand. I think they get used a lot. I bought 3 of these on eBay, funnily enough. This is called Earth Conscious Pure Unscented Deodorant, although I have had a kind of grapefruity one as well. And it's a cream deodorant. So you can see it's quite sort of solid in there. I've been using that for a couple of years now because I found 3. They must have been at wholesale prices on eBay. And then when I came to buy them again, I found 3 again, and they were such a bargain. I think they were about £15. So that was really, really good. But I noticed now that that deal is not on there anymore, and they were like £8 each. But it lasts a long time. So I do recommend it. It's very effective. And it's in a tin, so you can recycle the tin when you've finished with it, or reuse it for something else and clean it out. If you reuse it for keeping your pins in for your sewing or something like that, couldn't you? A little tin like that. You get 60 grams, and so mine was a massive deal, but £8 in comparison to something like Wild deodorant is probably quite good. So that's the deodorant I use. I have mentioned this before. Justin bought me this for Christmas. It's my leaf razor, and I absolutely love this razor. It's a reusable razor, and it's got a real weight to it, but without feeling like it's cumbersome. And it's got a little stand. You have to buy the stand separately. Ooh. But it's quite kind of heavy and solid, and I feel like it's going to last forever. And I chose this kind of titanium type pattern, if you like, or finish, and I think it looks really beautiful. You can get them in plain gold or silver, but it's really good because it kind of, this head moves around, as you can see, so it doesn't cut you. And I mentioned this before when I mentioned this after Christmas, that my previous one was a bamboo one made of bamboo, and you could change the blades, and it was good. I used it really for a long time. However, as my eyesight got worse, I can't wear glasses in the bath and shower, they just steam up. So I couldn't really see what I was doing, and I kept cutting myself to the point where Izzy had left some disposable plastic razors here and I was using those, and I thought I don't want to do that. So I used them up, but I didn't want to do that. So I bought this, and I think although this was expensive, I think it was about £70. It was expensive, but I think this will last me forever. I don't think I'll ever need to buy another razor again as long as I live. So if you buy a lot of those Gillette type razors, disposable ones, this will save you money, won't it? And plus all that plastic going into the waste. So I think it's brilliant. It's really just a nice ergonomic design. It really works. You have 3 blades as well, so it's effective. And you do obviously have to change the blades every now and then. I have changed these once since Christmas, but I don't think I'll need to change them again more than every 3 months, maybe more in the summer. I don't know. Probably not that much. Tea's going cold. I always do that when I'm doing a video. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's toilet paper, as you can see. So I signed up to a subscription service finally, because I do my shopping in Lidl and Aldi, and very occasionally one or the other of them does toilet paper that's wrapped in paper rather than plastic. Even then, it's not actually recycled toilet paper. So I thought I'd go with a Naked Sprout one. And I have to say, this took us all quite a while to get used to. The colour is unbleached. So it's really, really environmentally friendly. It's not using lots of chemicals to make it very white. And really, when you think about it, unnecessarily white. But it did make us kind of look at it and think, why is it that colour? And now I don't think about it at all. So I think it's really good. One of these rolls, they don't look huge, they're not huge, but they're quite solidly put together. It lasts a lot longer than the cheap ones I was buying before from various places. So I recommend it. I did have Who Gives a Crap before this, and it was fantastic during COVID because we never ran out of toilet paper when everybody else was having a nervous breakdown about toilet paper. But I do think, although it looks beautiful, I went to somebody's house the other day and she had a whole wall of beautiful Who Gives a Crap toilet paper, and you're making a statement, aren't you? You're saying, look at this, buy this. It's kind of become a bit of a lifestyle brand. I do think that it's more sustainable, A, to not have it bleached, and B, not to have it wrapped in a pointless pretty cover. But still, Who Gives a Crap is better than buying it all encased in plastic when it's not recycled. This is recycled. You can buy it made from bamboo as well, but I decided to go for the recycled because I think there needs to be a market for recycling. There's no point in recycling everything if you've got no market to sell the paper to, to be used in recycled products. So I'll go for that one. So I'm really pleased with that. As I say, when people first encounter it, they do go, oh my God, why is it that colour? But then I just tell them all about it and they look interested and they probably go away and go, oh, Jane's got brown toilet paper in her loo. But I think it's a good one. So anyway, those are my 8 favourite sustainable products. I had one comment saying, when I made my last video, buy less stuff, but you sell stuff. So doesn't that go against the point of the video? And no, I don't think so, because I do try to sell, well, I always sell second-hand products and vintage products. So they've been around a long time, and I hope that by buying something second-hand, people are then not buying a new equivalent. They don't need to. So they bought the second-hand thing, which has already been transporting and made a long time ago. That energy is all being used up. It's already had its original packaging, that's gone. I try to reuse packaging. I've said before that my neighbours will bring me boxes and bubble wrap and bits of paper and, the sort you get in brown paper and Amazon packaging and that kind of thing. And I reuse those. I've got paper tape that I use as well on it now. So I'm trying to get better and better at my packaging. And I just think that keeping things in circulation is more environmentally friendly. We're not in a position where we are not buying anything and we don't ever need to buy anything again. So I think, if you've got people that are trying to sell responsibly, then surely that's a good thing. So that's how I would answer that critic. But I think she did come back and understand my point of view. So that was good. Anyway, let me know in the comments whether you have any sustainable products that you really, really like and would really recommend to other people and why, and what you think of my choices. That's all for today. Thank you so much if you've watched to the end. It's not as long as my last rant, and I will hopefully see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.